Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that climbing the same stairs you used to race up now feels like carrying a heavy backpack. It's not laziness, and it's not weakness. It's simply your muscles quietly losing strength with age. And here's the part most people never hear, even if you're lifting weights and eating plenty of protein. Your muscles may still struggle to rebuild without one overlooked nutrient. Where are you listening from today? Maybe Australia, Spain, the US, or somewhere else. We're all in this together. One big community of people who just want to stay strong and independent. For decades, the advice was simple. Eat protein, lift weights, stay active. And yes, those things help. But the truth is that protein by itself isn't always enough, especially once we reach our 60s and beyond. The body's ability to absorb and use protein declines with age, a process scientists call anabolic resistance. What's missing for many of us isn't more chicken breast or protein shakes, it's collagen. Collagen isn't just a beauty nutrient for skin and hair. Think of it as scaffolding for your muscles. It forms the connective tissue that keeps muscle fibers bound together, supports joints, and allows the protein you eat to actually be put to work. Without enough collagen, your muscles don't just weaken, they literally begin to fray at the seams. That's why so many older adults find themselves frustrated they're eating right, exercising, but still losing strength. Now, here's something surprising. Taking collagen powder alone isn't always the solution. Many supplements miss the natural gelatin structure found in whole food sources. That gelatin acts like glue, helping your body actually stitch collagen proteins into your tissues. And while beef bone broth has gotten trendy, the reality is it doesn't contain nearly enough collagen to stop muscle loss on its own. Seniors need a reliable daily source, and most bowls of bone broth fall short. This is where two forgotten traditional foods come into the picture. These foods are liquid sources of collagen, far richer than bone broth, and they've been used in kitchens for centuries before science finally explained why they work. We'll begin with the one that's easier to find, then move to the most powerful of all. And later, I'll share 3 everyday foods that might secretly cancel out all these benefits foods you've probably eaten just this week. Let's start with something you may not expect: fish skin broth. Picture the silvery skin of salmon or cod simmering slowly in a pot, filling the air with a gentle ocean scent. That humble skin is packed with collagen, often twice as much as a bowl of bone broth. Even more importantly, marine collagen absorbs faster than other types, meaning your body can put it to use more quickly. For someone fighting age-related muscle loss, that can make the difference between another year of decline and finally regaining strength. But collagen isn't the only gift hidden in fish skin. It carries omega-3 fatty acids, the same ones we know protect the heart and brain. Those omega-3s do something special here. They calm inflammation inside the muscles, allowing them to heal and grow after exercise. Pair that with selenium, a mineral that helps protect cells from stress, and you've got a nutrient package perfectly designed for recovery. A group of Japanese researchers followed seniors for 6 months, giving some of them fish skin broth each day. The results were striking. The broth group gained muscle while the others barely maintained. It's no wonder that traditional Chinese medicine, centuries before the word sarcopenia existed, recommended fish skin soup to fight what they called muscle withering disease. Our ancestors often knew the truth long before laboratories confirmed it. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do you actually use this in daily life? The beauty of fish skin broth is that it's versatile. In the morning, you can mix a little into scrambled eggs for a soft, savory start. At lunch, it becomes the perfect base for a light vegetable soup. And at dinner, imagine sipping a warm cup alongside salmon and sweet potatoes. It's not about complicated recipes, but about weaving a little collagen into each meal. But let me pause here and ask, have you ever tried making your own broth at home? It's easier than you think. Fish skins simmered gently with ginger, and a pinch of salt will gel when cooled. A sure sign that collagen is present. That jelly-like texture is your body's best friend. And if you've never done it before, this might be the perfect little weekend experiment. Still, fish skin broth alone may not be enough. To really give your muscles every chance to rebuild, it needs a partner. And that partner is something even more overlooked: chicken feet broth. Yes, it might sound unusual if you haven't grown up with it. But in many cultures, chicken feet soup has been a household remedy for centuries. And the science backs it up. Chicken feet broth delivers even more collagen per cup than fish skin, including the specific types that not only rebuild muscle fibers, but also cushion your joints. That means you're not only strengthening muscle, you're making the movements that use those muscles less painful. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Chicken feet broth is naturally rich in glucosamine and chondroitin, compounds you might recognize from expensive joint supplements. Instead of buying a bottle at the pharmacy, you can sip them straight from a warm mug. Studies from South Korea have shown that older adults drinking chicken feet broth just a few times per week significantly increased leg strength and cut their recovery time almost in half. Imagine going from struggling to get up from a chair to standing with ease again. Preparing it isn't complicated. Cleaned chicken feet simmered slowly with onion and herbs turn into a broth so rich that it thickens like jelly when cooled. That gel isn't something to throw away. It's the very sign that the broth is packed with collagen. If you try it at breakfast, you can even whisk a couple of eggs into the hot broth for a nourishing custard-like dish. At lunch, it forms the heart of a vegetable soup. And for dinner, sipping a small cup before your main course primes your digestive system, helping your body absorb every bit of collagen. Here's the beautiful part when you combine fish skin broth and chicken feet broth. You're bringing together two worlds. The fish provides marine collagen that acts quickly, rushing to repair. The chicken provides land-based collagen that offers long-term structure. Together, they form a complete amino acid profile that no single source can provide on its own. It's a team effort, one fast and one enduring, both fighting for your strength. And if you're wondering why some people swear by collagen while others see no effect, the answer often lies in how they combine these foods. Pairing them together is far more effective than relying on just one. But there's also another key: many people forget vitamin C. Your body can't actually assemble collagen properly without it. That's why adding a squeeze of lemon to your broth, or enjoying an orange alongside your meal, can make all the difference. This is a simple step that turns collagen from raw material into actual repair. What I want you to remember here is that your body is not broken, it just needs the right tools. What you're going through is not weakness, it's your body asking for help in the language of biology. And sometimes, help is as simple as a humble broth that our grandparents once relied on. Now, before we dive into the foods that secretly sabotage all of this progress, I'd love to hear from you. Would you be open to trying fish skin broth, chicken feet broth, or both? Type yes below. If you'd give it a shot, I read every response, and it helps to know what's realistic for you in your own kitchen. Because as powerful as these broths are, they can be undone in an instant if paired with the wrong foods. And that's what we'll explore next. 3 very common things that may be turning your healing broth into poison without you even realizing it. One of them is probably sitting in your pantry right now. So here's the truth. You could be drinking collagen-rich broths every day, but if you unknowingly mix them with the wrong foods, it's like pouring water into a leaky bucket. The benefits slip right through, leaving you wondering why nothing is changing. I've seen it happen countless times with older patients who were doing everything right but felt stuck. And it all came down to what they paired with their broth. Let's start with the most surprising one, plain old white rice. At first glance, rice looks so innocent, the kind of staple food we've trusted for generations. But for older adults fighting muscle loss, it can be a hidden saboteur. Here's why white rice sends your blood sugar soaring. A sudden spike like that forces your body to focus on regulating glucose instead of repairing muscle. The collagen you just consumed can't be used effectively because insulin is busy putting out fires elsewhere. Researchers studying seniors with diabetes noticed something startling. When high glycemic foods like rice were eaten alongside protein or collagen, the muscle-building effect dropped dramatically. In plain English, it means the very meal that should have been healing became almost useless. And here's another twist when the minerals in collagen-rich broths combine with the glucose surge from rice. Your body creates what scientists call advanced glycation end products. These are sticky compounds that lodge in tissues, stiffen muscle fibers, and accelerate aging. Imagine glue hardening in places where you want flexibility. I once worked with Margaret, an 87-year-old who came to me completely discouraged. She had been drinking homemade broth every day for half a year and hadn't gained an ounce of strength. When I asked about her meals, she admitted that every single serving was paired with a generous bowl of white rice. We replaced the rice with quinoa, a grain with more fiber and slower release. And within weeks, she noticed her legs felt lighter. A few months later, she could walk across the room without gripping the furniture. Her body wasn't broken, it had simply been blocked. Now, let's move on to something many people enjoy at the end of the day, alcohol. A glass of wine with dinner. A little whiskey before bed, it feels comforting. And in moderation, it can even seem harmless. But here's the hidden danger. Alcohol interferes with the pathway your muscles use to stitch new protein fibers together. Scientists call it the mTOR pathway. And when alcohol is in the system, the signal for repair simply doesn't go through. It's like trying to make a phone call with a cut wire. Even small amounts, just one drink can lower muscle protein synthesis for hours. And the timing makes it worse. Most people drink in the evening, right when the body should be preparing for deep sleep repair. Instead of strengthening, the muscles are left hanging. A 12-week study showed that older adults who combined collagen with alcohol in the same evening barely improved, while the alcohol-free group gained measurable strength. That difference wasn't about effort, it was about chemistry. I remember Robert, an 82-year-old retired builder. He was faithful about sipping chicken feet broth each night, but always followed it with what he called his medicine, a shot of whiskey. He believed the drink was helping him relax, but his muscles kept shrinking. We asked him to try 6 weeks without evening alcohol. When he returned, his grip strength had risen, and he said he could finally lift his grocery bags without stopping to rest. His words still stay with me. I thought I was losing myself, but I was just drinking away my repair. And then there's the last culprit, one that surprises almost everyone: bacon. Crispy, salty, delicious, but for aging muscles. It's one of the worst companions to broth.
Bacon is packed with sodium, nitrates, and chemical preservatives. Combine that with the minerals already in collagen broth, and your body ends up inflamed, swollen, and struggling. Inflammation is the enemy of muscle repair. Instead of building, your body spends energy fighting damage. But the problem doesn't stop there. When bacon's preservatives meet the amino acids in collagen, they form toxic byproducts called nitrosamines. These not only hinder muscle growth, but also stress the cardiovascular system and raise cancer risk. It's a hidden danger in what seems like a small indulgence. Dorothy, an 85-year-old grandmother, loved sprinkling bacon bits into her morning broth. For 5 months she drank diligently, but saw only worsening joint pain and higher blood pressure. When she replaced the bacon with simple herbs and a bit of grilled chicken, her markers of inflammation dropped dramatically. Within weeks, she finally felt the broth beginning to help her body instead of harm it.
So let's take a step back. White rice, alcohol, and bacon. 3 everyday foods that, when paired with collagen, can quietly rob you of the results you deserve. None of this means you can never enjoy them again. It simply means timing and moderation matter. Avoid white rice for a couple of hours around broth. Save a glass of wine for a day when you're not focused on repair. And choose clean proteins instead of processed meats. These small adjustments add up to a huge difference. Now, I'd like to pause and ask you something. Which of these 3 do you find hardest to give up? Is it the comfort of rice, the evening drink, or the morning bacon? Drop a simple 2 or 3 below. I'm genuinely curious, and it helps me know which tips to share in more detail next time. Here's the most important takeaway. What you're experiencing is not your fault. You've been following advice that sounded sensible: protein, bone broth, familiar foods, but nobody explained how certain combinations cancel out the good. When you remove the blocks, your body finally has permission to rebuild. And that rebuilding isn't just about muscles. It's about climbing stairs without fear, carrying groceries with confidence, hugging your grandchildren without worrying about your grip. To make this easier, I've put together a 30-day meal plan filled with collagen-rich recipes that carefully avoid these harmful pairings. It's not a fad diet, it's a roadmap with timing, ingredients, and flavor that fits into everyday life. Over 50 recipes, all designed to help you protect your independence. If you want it, check the description or pinned comment. I created it for people just like you who don't want to waste another year guessing. Right. I'll do it below if you're committing this week to finally giving your body the clean fuel it deserves. And before we wrap up, let me share one last thought. For centuries, traditional healers believed that strength in old age wasn't just about food, but also about rituals, when and how you eat, how you rest, even how you breathe. Modern science is only now catching up to the wisdom our ancestors held. Collagen is one part of the puzzle, but there are other hidden keys waiting to be rediscovered. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to reveal something extraordinary. It has nothing to do with lifting weights or eating more protein. Instead, it's about 3 small spots on your legs that, when gently massaged for half a minute before bed, can activate muscle fibers while you sleep. This ancient method has been clinically tested and shown to boost leg strength without exercise. I promise you've never heard this before. So if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. You won't want to miss what comes next. Because your journey doesn't end with broth. It continues with every step you take, every meal you choose, and every secret science is finally bringing back to light.